Today, I'd like to walk you through composite types in CockroachDB. Composite types aren't new to CockroachDB. They've been around in Postgres since version 11, but today I'll introduce you to composite types in CockroachDB. They're new as of 23.1 and they'll be available soon. First, we'll create a custom type. This will be an amount and it can go against something like a purchase. It has a value, which in this case is an integer, not a decimal, a currency string, which might be GBP, USD, etc., and a minor units, so the number of decimal units that comprise the currency. With USD, there are 100 cents in $1, so the base unit is 100. Whereas in Japan, there are no units of yen, there is just 1 yen, that is the smallest unit of currency. Let's create that type. And next I'll create a purchase table to go along with that. This will have a unique ID, an amount, which is of our composite type, and a timestamp, the time at which the purchase was made. Next, I'll insert some data into that just to show a variety of different currencies and their base units. We have a unit of 1000 against GBP, which represents 10 pounds. We have a unit of 10 against yen, which represents 10 yen. We have a unit of 10,000 against Bahraini dinar, which represents 10 Bahraini dinar. Let's see what a selector looks like against this table. For the amount column, you can see that we've got a tuple that represents the integer amount that we've been given, the string currency, and the unit of that currency. If we're just interested in one part of that, we could say amount.currency, and that would just return the currency. Note that the column that I'm getting the data from has parentheses around it. Now we can do some interesting things with this. Let's create a function called decimal amount. It takes in an amount and returns a decimal. So this would take the value part, for example, 1000 against the GBP value, and divide it by the currency units that we have against that amount. Now let's do a select against that. So we'll select the ID of that purchase, and then we'll calculate the decimal amount against that and return the currency. For each of these purchases, we can see that post the function being called, we have 10 of everything, as expected. We can also filter on the component parts of the composite types. So for example here, we select everything from purchase, where the currency is equal to Bahraini dinar. It only returns amounts where this portion of the amount is satisfied. It's also possible to use update statements with composite types. So here, we're updating the purchase table and setting the amount to be this composite value. So in this example, we're not updating the value or the currency, we're just taking the existing values, but we're changing the unit amount. So for example, we got the base unit of Bahraini dinar incorrect, so we want to make a change. Let's update that now. And if we select the purchases out again, we'll see that the new value for Bahraini dinar is 1000, where before it was 10. To summarize, composite types in CockroachDB bring further parity to Postgres, and they provide an interesting way to group values together into single columns.